In this lesson, we're plugging in and cranking up the amp and diving into a blues rock solo, ZZ Top style. ZZ Top was one of the first blues-based bands that I ever really got into, and I was lucky enough to see them a couple times, and the shows were absolutely fantastic and full of energy. In this lesson, we're going to cover the first two licks from the solo that you just heard, inspired by that ZZ Top kind of thing. So let's get into it. Before we do, we're going to go deeper and cover the rest of the solo in the members-only extended cut that's happening live the day this lesson drops. So if you're a member, thanks. And you can find this lesson at TB398 in the library. And if you're not already a member, you can find out how to join at the link in the description. And now, let's tackle lick 1 and lick 2. Lick 1 sounds like this. We're playing out of our G minor pentatonic scale pattern and really focusing on strings 4 and 3. In fact, those are the only 4 notes we really use, although technically we kind of slide into the C note on the 3rd string 5th fret just to add a little articulation to it. Now what we're doing is starting out by playing right on top of the beat, the light palm mute going on, and we're playing the 3rd fret on the 4th string, that F note, and then up to the G, and then up to the B flat, that's the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, and then again up to the G, right? 5th fret on the 4th string. So our first measure is just, and then we answer that. We're just kind of setting things up here, but we answer it by sliding into that C note. I'm using my ring finger here, which is nice and in this 4-note position. Then I'm going back down to the B flat, the G, the B flat, and then the G and B flat. Let's listen to the rhythm of that and hear how these complement each other. We're going to repeat that and change things up just slightly at the end of the 2nd measure as we head into lick 2. Let's take a look. All that was different there is that we move from our G down to our F with an 8th note rhythm, which sets us up. It just builds a little bit of momentum for us to move into lick 2. One thing I love hearing in Billy Gibbons playing is this little move where we go back and forth really quickly between 2 notes on adjacent strings. And we're going to do that here in lick 2. Let's take a look. We're still keeping with the minor pentatonic scale, but now we're playing it thinking about this position and really just these 2 notes, right? Here's the position. There are the 2 notes. Now I'm going to play that with 2 different fingers because it's going to set me up for success in the finishing move for this lick. But really, lick 2 kicks off by sliding in to the D note on the 3rd string and then here on the F note on the 2nd string. That's fret 7 and fret 6. And what you're going to do is slide in and let these notes ring throughout the entire first measure of this lick. Then we're going to kick off by sliding into that same position, but we're going to go back and forth with a triplet rhythm. And key thing here is I'm picking the 2nd string with my middle finger on my picking hand. Right? You can see it getting in there and plucking up on the 2nd string. Now you can absolutely do this with just the pick, but I'm bringing in that middle finger to help me get a different attack on there. And it sounds really cool and adds something to the part, I think. So we're sliding in, then we do 2 sets of triplets with that back and forth picking. before sliding back down from 7th fret to the 5th, and then doing a pull off to the 3rd. That's why we want to do this whole thing with these two fingers, so we can do that pull off nice and comfortably to end the lick. And really, from there, we're going to the G, the B flat, and back to the G. Here it is, slowly. The count on this triplet business that we start out the second measure of lick 2 is really important. You're going to slide in, like we talked about, to this little shape, and you'll count 1 triplet, 2 triplet. So after you come back to this F note here, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, that's when you start the slide down. And that slide has some hang time on it, or rather the pull off does. So we can keep the vibe alive here. But one more time, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4, and that's the count. If you learned something from this lesson, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to go deeper, grab the additional lesson materials like tabs, the slow pace tutorial with the extended cut, then join BGI at the link right over here. I hope to see you inside my BGI. Until then, practice smart and play on.